Greta Thunberg, who Trump famously once described as a very happy young girl looking forward to a bright and wonderful future, is set to lead a 100,000-person march through the streets of Glasgow. This actually usually happens twice a year anyway, when Rangers play Celtic, but there'll probably be less buckfast involved in this particular one. In case you think this is a bit weird, it's because it is. The world's most famous climate activist is essentially protesting against the world's largest ever climate conference. Thunberg let it slip on the Andrew Marr show that she wasn't officially invited to COP, and I can't help but wonder now if we're seeing a bit of a teenage strop. She was videoed singing, "You can shove your climate conference up your bottom." Now, I remember when I had my first beer too. It all just seems a little bit self-defeating, doesn't it? Some real tangible things have already been agreed at COP. For example, more than 100 world leaders have promised to end and reverse deforestation by 2030. More than 40 countries have pledged to quit coal. In a separate commitment, 20 countries, including the US, pledged to end public financing for unabated fossil fuel projects abroad by the end of 2022. And then on top of that, we've got the massive domestic hike in taxes that we're all going to be lumbered with as our government continues its completely futile surge towards net zero, despite the fact that in order to achieve that, China would have to agree to it, and they absolutely haven't. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to think that maybe China doesn't really care about the environment. Greta did meet up with one powerful, esteemed world leader, though, an historic figure who towers above other presidents and prime ministers and who strikes fear into the very heart of the likes of Vladimir Putin. Nicola Sturgeon, yes, the small, bolshy, dumpy, shouty political activist, met Greta Thunberg. Hopefully, Greta asked her about the fact that for years and years, Sturgeon's independence campaign was based around the fact that she wanted unlimited oil and gas extraction. Anyway, urging others to join, Greta wrote on Twitter, "On Friday, November 5th, I will join the climate strike in Glasgow during COP26. Climate justice also means social justice, and that we leave no one behind. So invite everyone, especially workers striking in Glasgow. So join us. See you there." Firstly, the striking workers are binmen, so I very much doubt that a Glaswegian refuge collector is going to pull himself out of bed and go and hug a tree with Thunberg at a rally that, ironically, is just going to create more mess for them to clean up in the long run. I don't think it's really about the climate, though, is it? It's more about smashing the capitalist system, implementing at best radical socialism and at worst total anarchy. If you don't believe me, Greta told the European Commission that in order to fight climate change, we need to change our political and economic systems. If you, for want of a better phrase, drill down into what Extinction Rebellion and co actually think, fundamentally, it's capitalism that's the problem and not CO2. Presumably, this march today starts in the afternoon because none of them will be awake at this time in the morning, will they? I'd be keen to take a measurement of noxious gas levels above Glasgow before and after the march and just see whether or not it's gone up. I'll come back to this point. The world's most famous climate activist is protesting the world's largest ever climate summit, where real significant progress has actually already been made towards the goal that she wants. The fact is, Greta Thunberg will never be happy, and she won't be happy at all, ever, and she won't think there will be enough progress that's been made until we're all wearing loincloths, living in caves and using moss as a memory foam mattress.